Hey everyone, my name is Sherman, a CPA here at Life Accounting, where we help you save on taxes and increase your wealth. You know, sometimes we get comments on our channel like the rich don't pay any taxes, or that the working class needs to pay their fair share of taxes, and so on. So today I wanted to take a moment to tackle this big question. Who really pays the most taxes in our country? Is it the middle class, lowest income individuals, or is it the ultra rich? Go ahead and comment below and let me know what you're thinking. Today we're going to put this topic to rest and look through some of the hard data and facts to arrive at an answer here. So go ahead and sit back, relax, and subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about taxes and building wealth. All right, so when it comes to taxes, the first thing you need to know is that there are many different types of taxes. There are individual taxes, Social Security and Medicare taxes, consumption taxes like the sales tax you pay when you buy something, property taxes, and much more. And as you can see here, individual taxes make up almost half of all of the revenue the government collects in taxes. And because individual taxes are the most significant tax revenue source for the United States, we are going to take a look at this first. So here is a table that shows individual income tax brackets. As you can see here, individual tax rates vary from 10 to 37% based on your income in 2021. Therefore, in theory, the more you earn, the more taxes you would pay. So then if that's the case, then you're probably wondering, what's the big deal here? Well, first of all, there are different types of income, and some of those types of income pay lower taxes than what you just saw. For example, portfolio income, like money you earn from stocks or bonds, can be taxed at long-term capital gains tax rates, which currently vary from 0 to 20%. So some wealthy individuals can get around those higher tax rates by paying themselves in some form of stocks instead of ordinary income. For example, Mark Zuckerberg is one of the richest people in the world, but only pays himself $1 in wages from his corporation. But he also owns Facebook stock, which has increased by like 900% since they IPO'd. And because he owns the stock, he can sell them as he wishes at lower capital gains tax rates. And we've seen similar stories like this many times with billionaires like Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, and even Donald Trump. I mean, just look at the effective tax rates of some of these individuals, which is what they pay in relation to their income. According to ProPublica, Warren Buffett's effective tax rate is just 0.10%. Bezos is 0.98%, Bloomberg 1.3%, and Elon Musk 3.27%. Stories like this make it very easy for people to say the rich need to pay more in taxes, right? Well, before we get too excited here, let's go ahead and take a look at the hard facts. So here is a table summarizing federal income tax data by the Tax Foundation. Now, I want to highlight two rows here. First, the average tax rate. According to IRS data, the top 1% has the highest effective tax rate, coming in at 25.4%, which gradually falls as you move down in income levels, where you can see here that the bottom 50% of taxpayers pay an effective tax rate of just 3.4%. Secondly, let's highlight the share of total income taxes paid. The top 1% of taxpayers pay over 40% of the total revenue the IRS collects. And the top 10% of taxpayers pay over 71% of total taxes paid to the IRS. So really, about 8 million people contribute most of the tax revenue that the IRS collects, while over 70 million taxpayers contribute less than 3% of the total amount of taxes collected in our country. According to the Tax Foundation, half of taxpayers pay 97% of federal income taxes that the government receives, even though their share of total income is much less than this amount. For example, the top 1% only earns 21% of the total income in the country, but pays 40% of the taxes in the country. So when you look at it from these lenses, it does appear that the wealthy do in fact pay their taxes. But what about these people, the billionaires that are paying almost nothing in income taxes? Well, it is true that they can escape certain income taxes in many ways. But I wouldn't call them the top 1% of Americans. They are more like the top 0.001% of Americans. Because they are so wealthy, they don't have to really earn their income and pay ordinary tax rates, which ultimately limits their tax exposure. Here's an analysis by Vox. You will see here that the richest Americans pay a much smaller share of income taxes than 99.99% of the country. That's because their income is taxed at much lower tax rates. In addition, they are able to take advantage of some of the finest tax incentives. Like, the government literally gives wealthy individuals tax credits to motivate their behavior. For example, Amazon received $2.2 billion in tax credits from the government simply by locating their offices in New York City, Virginia, and in other places. But also keep in mind that Amazon employs over 1 million people, which dramatically boosts the economy by providing much needed jobs to working class individuals. And that's just one example of a tax credit. There are many more examples of tax credits that the ultra wealthy receive by contributing to the economy at large. I'm sure Elon Musk is getting tax incentives for building electric cars, and Donald Trump is getting tax incentives for building real estate, and so on. I mean, just look at this clip from Donald Trump himself.
He didn't pay any federal income tax. So if he's paid zero.
There's clearly no shame in his game for paying little to no taxes. And I don't know, maybe it's because he is legally following the tax incentives that are written in the tax law. But look, the wealthy is not alone here. According to CNBC, 61% of all Americans paid no income taxes at all in 2020 after accounting for tax deductions and tax credits that they receive. This includes more than 100 million households, many of whom receive stimulus checks and very generous tax credits like the child tax credit, for example. So in consideration of all of these factors, it is clear that the tax system is progressive in the fact that the wealthiest Americans typically pay the most taxes unless you're in the top 0.001% of people. However, Biden's new tax plan will increase the tax rates on a much larger pool of people who are already shouldering most of the tax burden. And if you want to learn more about those tax increases, be sure to subscribe to this channel and watch my video on Biden's new tax plan.